Welcome to the SNN Network Canada virtual event. I'd like to introduce our next presenter, Omri Brill, CEO at Adcore. Omri, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. So good morning, everyone. Actually, today from Adcore side, it's myself, Omri Brill, CEO of Adcore, and Martin van de Band, who is the General Manager of Adcore North America. And basically what we're going to do today is go over the company deck. That should take around 20 minutes, and in the end of the presentation, we're going to leave around 10 minutes for Q&A session, so feel free to submit your Q&A during the session as well. So let's get started. So obviously there's no need to read the disclaimer, but it's a standard disclaimer, and everybody can read it once you get the deck. So we are Adcore. Adcore is the leading e-commerce advertising technology company. The company basically offers 4 different apps for marketing automation for e-commerce, and that's what makes Adcore a bit of a unique success story within the AdTech space, especially because the company is not a generic AdTech company, but it's a specialized AdTech company which specializes in e-commerce. So a bit high-level investment thesis about the company. Adcore is the fastest growing AdTech company. The company grew over the last 12 months almost 190%. That's X4 times the average growth of the peer companies, public companies within the AdTech space. So the company is growing fast and much faster than the peer company. Another important point that Adcore is operates within the fastest growing sector within advertising or online advertising. E-commerce, as everybody understands, during COVID and post-COVID is booming. The level of activity that we see today is unparalleled than where it used to be, let's say, 2019 and before. The company has a very scalable technology offering. We have 4 different apps, actually 5 different apps soon, which are part of the Adcore Marketing Cloud, which we're going to cover in more detail during the presentation. We have a growing customer base of well over 500 ad agencies using the Adcore technology and 10,000 direct advertiser accounts, again, using one of the Adcore apps, of sometimes all of them. And huge addressable market, almost $600 billion in 2020 and 2021 numbers, and equally important, rapidly growing. The company vision is effortless marketing. Adcore believes marketing should be effortless and accessible for everyone. In a sense, we work every day very hard in order to make our client life very easy. So we want to supply them with the best technology, with the best value for them to get the best return for every advertising dollar they spend online. And this is exactly what the Adcore technology is all about. As I mentioned before, we target a massive addressable market. According to eMarketer, online advertising in 2021 is almost $600 billion, and equally important, a massive market which is now rapidly growing as well, obviously during COVID and because of COVID. eMarketer estimated to be in 2024 numbers more than $800 billion, so that's more than $200 billion growth in just 3 years' time. The level of change the company sees now, which especially since the second half of 2020 and obviously the entire year of 2021, is unparalleled to what the company used to see before. During COVID, we saw a massive digital transformation. All businesses literally shift online and went online. All budget went online and they stay online. So the level of activity, the level of demand to Adcore services and technology that we see today, I would say if I need to compare it to where it used to be before, it's X2, X3 higher than where they used to be. And that's put the company on a fast track of fast growing. So the level of growth that the company been able to present over the last 4 quarters, for example, is unparalleled, and the company is growing in phases that it's never in the history of the company was able to grow before. So Why Adcore is perfectly positioned to leading the AdTech for e-commerce? I would say it's probably a couple of reasons. First and foremost, I would say we have the right technology offering, 5 different apps combined together, the Adcore Marketing Cloud. Adcore also all strategic alliances with all the major networks, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, TikTok, and many others. The company has an excellent global coverage. We have 5 different offices covering 4 different continents. Headquarters are in Tel Aviv, Israel, another office in Toronto, Canada, Melbourne, Australia, and 2 offices in China, 1 in Hong Kong and 1 in Shanghai. We have the best talent team working for us, best engineer, best digital marketing expert, and basically a very diversified and talented workforce. And equally important, strong financial. The company being able to show very fast growth, and we also enjoy very solid balance sheet, which put the company in an excellent position to capitalize this financial and basically continue to grow in a much faster phase as well. So when we talk about the Adcore Marketing Cloud, I think maybe I would hand it over to Martin, which you can cover the 4 different apps basically today are part of the cloud. And like I mentioned, actually this week we are planning to add another app to this portfolio, growing the portfolio even bigger. So Martin, maybe you would like to share with the audience a bit about the Adcore Marketing Cloud and what it is all about.
Absolutely, Omri. I'm very excited to talk more about the Adcore Marketing Cloud. As Omri mentioned, the Marketing Cloud has been launched very recently in the newest UX and UI. So we completely revamped technologies and we brought everything together. So the current offering consists of 4 apps and another 5th app to be launched very soon. And the beauty of the Marketing Cloud is also that it is available for other third-party apps as well. So we're building here an ecosystem where advertisers can leverage both our technologies and potential future third-party technologies as well. So everything is under one roof. It's seamlessly connected. And I will start talking about first how our technology works for our clients. So as an example, we have Princess Polly, one of our clients from Australia that we actually cover on a global level. So we would make sure that our technology is implemented across channels. So we work for them and we manage their campaigns on Google, on Facebook, Google Shopping, Instagram, and Microsoft, and even other channels like TikTok, YouTube, and many more. So what we basically do is we take the product inventory and we push that across channels in a seamless manner, and all pricing, content of the products, descriptions, availability is all synced and optimized for the best results. One of the apps is called Affiliate Marketing. Affiliate Marketing is kind of our entry-level app. It sits within the Shopify ecosystem, where people can basically add the app in the Shopify App Store. You can compare it to the iPhone, Apple App Store, or the Google Play Store, where you add apps on your phone. Similarly, you can do this on Shopify. So there's a lot of store owners that have a store but are looking for traffic to generate to the website. So basically, they connect their website, the Shopify store, with Affiliate Marketing, our technology, and we seamlessly start advertising on Google, Facebook, but also Microsoft. So they're able to generate traffic. They're able to set their budgets, also ROI goals, so they're in full control how much they're spending and what the desired revenue goal should be. Then we have another functionality or app called Feeditor. Feeditor is the ultimate shopping tool for marketing professionals that really want to leverage different channels, including, again, Google, also Facebook and Microsoft, but it's also connecting to shopping channels and marketplaces like Amazon and eBay. And this Feeditor solution connects with Shopify, Magento, Wix, many other platforms out there, and we integrate that. And basically what Feeditor does is putting all your products in a list, kind of an Excel list, and give you the ability to make changes on scale. So we can implement promotions, we can improve the quality of the content, we can improve the quality of the titles, the descriptions of the products, we can make certain rules that certain high margin products are pushed first and foremost. That's all done through this technology. Then on the most extensive and sophisticated technology, I would say, is views. This is where the campaign creation is done. This works seamlessly with Google and Microsoft. We have a lot of advertisers that have literally of thousands or 10,000s of products, if not hundreds of thousands of products. So you can imagine that's impossible to manage manually. So there needs to be technology to create all these hundreds, thousands, or millions of keywords, all these hundreds, thousands of ads automatically. And Views is doing that. So basically what we do is we take, again, the product inventory of the sites, we put them in so-called views or templates, and we start creating all these ads at scale. And the beauty is that once a product, let's say, goes out of stock, also the ad automatically pauses. Or when a new product arrives in the catalog, new ads will be automatically generated. And last but not least, also when prices are changed, we automatically make sure the prices in the ads are shown directly. Then we have here SEMDoc, the last functionality that I'd like to show today before I hand it over to Omri. So SEMDoc is our auditing and analysis technology. It works completely on machine learning and artificial intelligence, and basically it pulls all the data from your Google advertising account, your Google Ads account, or your Microsoft Ads account, and we analyze this with 52 key metrics on account level, campaign level, and we give basically back how well is your account performing. And we identify opportunities for growth. So how can digital marketers or advertisers shift budgets, create new campaigns, create new or generate audiences, target new audiences. The whole system is doing a lot of suggestions on one end to generate more revenue, and at the same time also cut the waste in the accounts, because we see a lot of advertisers out there that are wasting a lot of money on the wrong keywords, on the wrong ads, the wrong targeting. So our system in as little as 30 seconds gives an overall score and opportunities to generate hundreds of thousands more revenue, saving tens of thousands of dollars per year on non-relevant ads. And this is a great stepping stone for our advertisers to get familiar with the technology, see in one angle how much money they can save, how much more revenue they can generate, and subsequently deep dive further in the system to make the necessary changes. I definitely want to extend to the audience today a separate session where we can give a live demo. That's definitely something we do a lot on one-on-ones as well. So feel free to book a one-on-one session these days or during the conference, or obviously in the coming weeks. And with that, I'd like to hand it over back to Omri to talk about the management team and the revenue model and financial slides.
Thank you so much, Martin. So we also encourage everyone to visit the company website. Go to adcore.com, and under adcore.com you can visit the marketing cloud. You can find it on the top, the link, and basically for each app that Martin during the deck, you can watch a video about the app, which is like an online demo, and basically see more feature and more screenshot regarding the different apps. So let me cover the management team slides for a second. So myself, the founder and CEO of Adcore, I founded this company almost 15 years ago in 2006. Together with me on the management board as well is Roy Nevo, the company CEO. CFO for the company is Yatir Sadot. CTO is Vadim Malkin. And we have the 3 GM of the company. Martin van de Bemd is the GM of Adcore North America. Ronit Moll is the GM of Adcore Australia and New Zealand. And Gal Itkin is the GM of Adcore Greater China. So regarding the company revenue model, so we have a very scalable business model, revenue model. Basically, we earn percentage of the total ad spend managed across one of the Adcore apps or technology. And the company have 2 main revenue streams. The first one is indirect clients, which we take a platform take of around 4%, and the second revenue stream is direct client when the platform take is around 10%. So between these two, basically, the company, that's the revenue stream of the company, and we see, like, if you look at 2020 number, it was almost 75% for direct advertiser and 25% for direct clients. Top line revenue, if you look at the slide on the right side, we have the yearly numbers. So 2018 was a bit over 11 million in revenue, 2019 was a bit over 15 million in revenue, and 2020 was already almost 23 million in revenue. And we can see the quarterly numbers as well. Then we can see that starting Q4 2020, there was a massive spike in the company activity. Again, that's what we discussed about it early on in the presentation, that we saw like the level of growth that the company see now is unparalleled where it used to be. Bear in mind that it's not only COVID, obviously, it's also has a lot to do with the company global expansion, and equally important is also seasonality attached to it. For example, Q4 is always a massive quarter for us because of a lot of e-commerce spending is done actually in the second part, in the last part of the year because of the holidays. If you look at TTM 4 quarters, that was 4 quarters the company being able to present triple-digit growth. And if you look at the TTM number, if you remember 2020 was around 23 million in revenue. The TTM is already at 40 million in revenue, and that's a massive spike if you compare it to the previous TTM, which was 13 million in revenue. And again, Q4 2020, almost 220% year-over-year growth. Q1 21, 161% year-over-year growth. Q2 21 was 250% year-over-year growth, and Q3 21 was 153% year-over-year growth. So again, massive growth that we saw over the last 4 quarters. And if you look at the quarterly number, then Q3, for example, 10.4 million in revenue compared to 7 million in Q2. Gross profit in Q3 21 was 2.4 million. Adjusted EBITDA was 0.6, and total working capital was above $13 million. If you look at the company balance sheet, is again a very strong balance sheet. Total assets as of September 21 was 22 million, above 22 million. That's compared to 17 million in December 20, in the end of December 20. Cash pile again. 15.5 million cash as of September 21 compared to 11.7 million in December 20, and the company owed no debt. The company was also able to generate a lot of free cash over the last 3 years. If you look at the right side, we see the yearly numbers. The 2018 was a bit above 1 million in free cash. 2019 was over 3 million in free cash, and 2020 was 7.3 million in free cash. Sorry. If you look at the company cap table, total outstanding shares are 63 million. Float is around 22 million. That represents 35% float. Current share price as of yesterday, 64 cents, Canadian dollars. Actually, the next slide, the comparable companies, is a very interesting slide, and I would like to start with the right side of the slide, which is the growth of the company versus comparable companies. Then yet again, we can see the Adcore being able to present almost 200% growth over the course of the last 12 months. This is 4 times higher than the average 46% growth of the comparable companies. And again, if you look at multiple, we can clearly see there's a lot of potential upside for the company to be made if you look at the current share price as well. So before we're going to sum everything up and go over to the Q&A session, just like a quick summary of everything we discussed today. So fastest growing AdTech company, Adcore, is growing 4 times faster than the peers. Proprietary technology offering 4 different apps. Actually, as of this week, it's going to be 5 different apps combining together the Adcore Marketing Cloud. Adcore helps businesses to digitally transform. That's put us in a very strategic place. Basically, massive digital transformation, and a lot of businesses look for technology and solutions like Adcore have to offer now. Huge and growing addressable market, $600 billion in 2021 number, and going to go fast over the course of the next 3 years. And proven business model, strong MRR, stronger ARR, and very strong balance sheet as well. So that's it for today's presentation. With regard to IR contacts, we encourage you to contact us as well, obviously, with any questions that you might have. We have Martin contact information here, the CFO, Yatir Sadot contact information, and John Nesbet, our IR firm from the U.S. as well. That's it. I want to thank everybody who took the time today to listen to the presentation.
We have a couple of questions coming in, so I'm happy to walk them through with you. The first question comes from Bobby. He asks, where do you hope to see the company in the next 12 months or so?
Yeah. So it's a good question, I guess. I would say the following. It's equally important before we talk about where we hope to see the company. I would say what is the company focus for the next 12 months, and then going to give investors, like the key indicator to look at and basically to see where the company is going and growing. So I would say number 1 is the Adcore Marketing Cloud. The company put a lot of emphasis on it. We recently launched it officially in September 2020, and basically that's going to be a big focus area for the company for the next coming years, of course 2021 and beyond. So that I would say number 1 focus area. Number 2 focus area for the company is to continue the geo expansion, which we're going to put more emphasis now on North America. The company recently opened a U.S. subsidiary, and we're looking to expand our activity and footprint in this important market as well. So that's another key indicator for us. And last but not least is Amphy, which is the marketplace that we open for online learning, and this is something that we put a lot of effort into, and we hope to see it growing very fast in 2022 and beyond. So I would say, ideally, I would like to see the company, obviously succeeding and growing the Adcore Marketing Cloud, expanding successfully into the U.S., and basically growing the footprint of Amphy as well. So if we can achieve that over the next 12 months, I'm going to be a very happy CEO.
All right. We have another question as well from Dan. Should investors expect some form of analyst coverage in the near future?
So that's a good question. So actually we are working on getting some analyst coverage or hoping to get some analyst coverage both from Canaccord and Echelon. So hopefully that's not going to be played until the beginning or the start of 2022. But the company is well aware that basically that's something that is still missing, and we hope to get some traction and analyst coverage in 2022.
Great. And we have a question from Francisco about Amphy. How does Amphy compete with Skillshare? Are you looking to acquire another similar company or competitor to Amphy?
So that's an excellent question. I would say that Skillshare, like Udemy and many other companies like that, basically it's asynchronous learning. So this means all the classes or lessons are pre-recorded, and basically what you're going to do, you're going to go to the website and basically watch a pre-recorded lesson, which is nice, but it's not as nice as doing it live. And Amphy, it's all about live learning, so the level of engagement, the level of, let's say, entertainment, the level of what you get from an Amphy lesson is, I would say, much more valuable for what you can get from a pre-recorded Skillshare lesson, Udemy lesson, or YouTube lessons that you might find online. So that would be one answer. And I think like with regard to potential M&A for Amphy, I think there's probably going to be a lot of opportunities for us, especially for a micro niche website. But I think like it's a bit too early for Amphy. Hopefully in 2022 we can start to see the first sign of relevant M&As for Amphy as well. But I think like with time we're going to have plenty of M&As opportunity for Amphy actually.
All right, and we have another question from Dan. He asks, Omri, could you please give some information about the new marketing app about to be released?
So we didn't officially release it yet, so I don't want to give like too much detail, but it's going to be another version of effortless marketing, but for instead of Shopify store owner, for WooCommerce shop owners. So let's put effortless market, like expand, let's say, the potential reach of effortless market far behind Shopify. Obviously, WooCommerce is even a bigger platform in terms of online users than Shopify, actually.
All right, and there's a question from Walter. What percentage of AdTech companies have the select tier designation from Microsoft? And here's another question. Describe your exposure to ads in gaming and metaverse.
Okay, so that's two different questions. I don't have the exact number, so I don't want to give with regards to the number of, let's say, companies that have the select tier partnership with Microsoft. But that's something that actually you can find online on Microsoft. That I would say it's probably below 100 if I need to remember it from the top of my head. So it's like a very selective group of partners worldwide, and we're talking about worldwide partnership. It's not like a local partnership or a geo partnership. So that's the first question. With regards to the company. Regarding the company, like if we serve like app clients and a games client, so there's not many of them. I would say probably there's like a pretty small activity. The majority of the activity of the company is pure e-commerce client. That's the main focus of the company, and it's going to remain the focus of the company.
That's great. I think we have time for one or two more questions. So one question from Francisco. Where do you see gross margins being by end of 2022?
Yeah, so it's a bit difficult to predict because obviously the AdCore is relatively still a young company, and the activity or the market that we are active in shift a lot or change a lot because of COVID, which also shift the gross margin. But I would say that strategically and ideally, we would like to see them much more closer to 50% than where they are today at around 30%. So the long-term goal is to be around 50% gross margin.
Okay, and I think we have time for one final question from Mohammed. A lot of your growth seems to be from China. How will any issues with China economy impact Adcore, and how do you plan to overcome that in other regions? Okay, so yeah, we have a solid activity or solid growth coming from the Greater China region. I would say like a lot of, let's say, the issues that we see now on the news with China is more, let's say, I would say, related to maybe big companies or some issues that related to, you know, like supply chain issues and stuff like that. That has nothing to do with Adcore. So Adcore is lucky enough to be, I wouldn't say under the radar, but it's not. We are not Microsoft, we are not Google, so we're not like we don't see any political issue that interfering Adcore ability to work and operate in the Chinese market. To be honest. Amazing. So with that, I think we need to conclude the Q&A session and hand it back over to the host. So, Martin, thank you for joining us today and participating in the presentation, obviously, and thank everyone who took part of today's presentation.
Thank you for those who submitted their Q&A. We encourage everyone to visit the ADCO website. You can download the presentation from the ADCO website under the investor section, and obviously contact us, use the IR contact information to submit any further question or inquiry regarding the company activity. We would love to hear what you guys think and love to address any question that you might have.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. That concludes today's presentation, and thank you for tuning in.